Welcome, respected co-sadhakas, salutations, greetings, gratitudes, congratulations, and prayers. Spend a minute in visiting to our Viktitvas, for whose blossoming or vikasa we have to put the relentless efforts. Loka Seva Vyaktitva, the clarity in it. Dharma Sthapana Vyaktitva, clarity in it. Then only we get the right for the Viraga Vyaktitva, which alone takes us to become the Bhakta. By the grace of the Lord, we become the Shishya. That Shishya will be given by the Guru, the Mumukshuta. That leads to the Jignasutva Vyaktitva. And all these are sustained when we are Shrota. And this begins when we decide ourselves to be the sadhaka. And these things are not so easy to obtain. Due efforts are to be put, therefore we have to be parishrami. Path being all alone, there is nobody other than ourselves to give prerana to ourselves, therefore prerita. Because we have chosen the correct goal, walking on the right path. There is nothing to be worried about. And we know what to do and we are doing it. And we also know the result comes in its own time. Therefore, the Shanta Gambhira Vyaktitva. Now, these are all given to us in Shastras very clearly as they are given. So clearly, if we want to understand, we should know the Bhasha, the language. Therefore, the Samskrita Bhasha Parijnana. Then all these seven sources are always there to help us. It is we who have to take the Brahma Tattva, the Ishvara Tattva, the Jaganmatru Tattva, the Devata Gana, the Guru Gana, the Shastra Gana. They are all one Paramatma's expressions in different forms to help us. Then the seventh one is our own grace on ourselves. In fact, this is the basic thing. We bless ourselves, everybody's blessings come to us. Everybody's blessings come. If we don't bless ourselves, all those blessings become meaningless. So, having remembered all that, beautiful Shwethashwathara Upanishad Adhyayanam, today the Sambandha Bhashya, we will conclude and begin the first mantra of the Prathamodhyaya, in which all the sadhakas, jignasus, they come together and in a healthy, coordinated manner, they discuss about the truth, the Brahman, the reality. Then they come to some ideas, but they again understand, no, ye nahi ho sakta. Then they become introverted. Then inside they discover. This is how the Upanishad Shwethashwathara beautifully guides the student, you and I, as to how to start spiritual journey, spiritual inquiry. Very sweet, all inclusive, not difficult at all in the giving of the ideas, the sadhanas, the examples, the concepts is only as ever we have to apply ourselves diligently. Then things become simpler, smoother. Before do the study of Upanishad, our prarthana sankalpa, and before that for a couple of minutes, the common sense thoughts. Today's common sense thoughts to discuss precisely are Narayana. One is key our sound financial status, which is very essential, indicates Our awqat at financial level indicates that we are parishrami. We work hard outside. We are not lazy. If we are sound, if we are no sound, that shows that we are very lethargic, lazy. Look at it, either of this life or the earlier one, that we did work outside, therefore, we have sufficient resources. Finances means things that are required for our first security and safety, second is comfort. We can be safe, secured, we must be in fact. We can be even comfortable. Only thing is, we should not be a bhogi, isn't it? Like, a house is made, an ashram is made, protected from the winds and all, rains and all, krura, the terrible animals. So that comfort is not a bhoga, it's a safety, it's a security. In the same way, when we are not sound financially for our safety, security, maintenance, our attention goes only for that. That's how many of the people, half of them are bhogi, no doubt, but the remaining half don't have financial things sound sufficiently. Therefore, all their effort is only towards that. Of course, some of them have to discover contentment in living in minimum. Most of our internal arts we have to learn. But the idea is, if you are there in a good position, whether yourself have earned, your children have given money, your parents are given money, or husband or wife, कोई भी हो, आप ठीक ठाक है तो मेहनत किया आपने. That is an indication of it. And it is required also. We have to be sound, safe and secured. Otherwise, life will be उसी में चला जाएगा फिर. We can't even think about higher things. In the same way, if we have a good people around us, number of people and good people, with whatever the relation, to take care of us, to talk to us, to ask about our welfare. It can be again the parents or children, wife or husband, or relatives. In some cases, there are friends. That means what? We have sufficiently understood the need and have served the praja, the people in our life. We were in a good matured state. We were not so greedy, selfish. है ना एक तो the one who is very greedy and selfish, he is left lonely by the Lord world. Second, the one who is spiritual seeker, him also Bhagavan says अब चुप छोड़ो सबका झंझट अपना कर साधन. But otherwise, people around us is a good thing. Another type of comforting thing, secured thing. When people are around us to take care of us, isn't it? To be with us, to give us that every type of required cushioning and support. Who can get that one? The one who has given, who has gone out of his own selfishness zone and then understood the people's difficulties, problems, needs, extended help in whatever the manner he could. Yesterday we have seen in our Skanda Purana, the Dana Mahima and 6 gunas of the Dana. We are all studying it very exhaustively. So we might have taken care of people. Therefore, people are around us. It's a very good thing. And again, people but nagging, people with disturbance. Are there अर्थ ये हुआ कि we have troubled people also. क्योंकि जो हमको मिलता है वो जो हमने किया according to that only. Nothing just happens accidentally. So if you have really troubled, cheated people, they come and trouble us and cheat us. So if I say 100 people have troubled me means we have troubled 100. If we say कि 100 people are around me, ready to love me, help me, you have such a magnanimous heart of understanding people's difficulties and you practically served them. That practical service may, whenever the resources required like that of money other, you might have given. Physical help required, you might have done. Any other वोकल और रिकमेंडेशंस कुछ ना कुछ लोगों का उस दुख दूर करने के लिए हमने प्रयास किया. That's how people are around us. That's very good, isn't it? Then, in fact, even though we are on spiritual sadhana, ultimate goal, as the mauka comes, we have to do these things so that till our siddhi is reached, we are not distracted because of any of these things lacking. सेफ्टी सिक्योरिटी कहो, पीपल हेल्पिंग कहो, जहाँ जब चाहिए हमको साधना काल में मिलते रहे. हमेशा कोई ज़रूरत नहीं होता, पर जब ज़रूरत चाहिए है हम अवसर लाइक भगवान ब्लेसेस द भक्तास. बेटा जब भी तुमको चाहिए मैं हो जाता हूँ, आ जाता हूँ, ब्लेस यू, आई विल टेक केयर ऑफ यू. इन द सेम वे इफ वी कैटर टू द नीड ऑफ द पीपल्स, एनीबडी हु इज, है ना, सेवा करने के लिए बंदा हमारे कोई रक्त संबंधी वगैरह होने की जरूरत नहीं है. एनी जीव, इट कैन बी एनी एनिमल ऑल्सो, एनी बर्ड्स, कुछ भी हो, दयालु वाला बुद्धि होकर, है ना, दैट जीव सफरिंग इन दैट उपाधि. So let me help in this way, whatever the way that jiva requires and gets comfort and solace. How beautiful to see that attitude. If you have done it sufficiently, then the people around us are helping. If not done, if we are left alone, means we are always selfish. Very cruel we are. And if more people do trouble us, हम तो राक्षसी थे बस. We have troubled them, we are getting back. मतलब हमारा क्या औकात है फिलहाल, उसका हम ही कारण है. That's the idea. Therefore, for the future औकात in the present, we are the karana. Second one. Third one also, कि how much we are confident in our life, feel, what do you say, safe and secured, fearless, etc. If we are not anxious, not worried about anything, mainly about the jara, roga, mrityu, or from anybody, any troubles. That is indication that we are good, sufficient devotees of भगवान. क्योंकि भक्त को भगवान अभय प्रदान करते हैं, है ना. सकृदेव प्रपन्नाय तवास्मीति च याचते अभयम सर्वभूतेभ्यः ददामि एतद् व्रतं मम. The inner fearlessness is a sign of our reliance in the Lord in this life or the earlier, that we have done a lot of upasana to Him with the faith that He will take care of us. Therefore, if we feel that confidence in us, fearlessness in us, isn't it? Some people have that. No fear, absolutely confidence. They utter also, yes, mere Prabhu hai, he is taking care. So that means sufficient puja is done on Bhagwan, for Bhagwan. Variety of pujas, upasanas, हजारों चीजें. Keeping Bhagwan in mind, anything you do. हवन करो, षोडशोपचार पूजा कहो, भजन कराओ, कीर्तन कराओ, सत्संग कराओ, शास्त्र सुनो, भगवत संबंधी कथाएं सुनो, तीर्थ यात्राएं करो, मंदिर बनवाओ. All of them Bhagavad Sambandhi. When we do, by his anugraha, the bhaya will not be there. Others you can see, they are always afraid of either people or any other situations, or the lack of things, scarcity of the things, or about their own existence. Dar, 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 dar. भक्त नहीं डरेगा. So जो नहीं डर रहा है, he has done it. Therefore, it also indicates that, therefore, let us, by following, as it is so beautifully said in Yoga Vashtama Ramayana, following the Shastra Paddhati, let us be a devotee of God. Let us be doing our due upasanas every day to Him, and by that increase our faith in Him that He is there, He is taking care of us. When we enter into that zone and mood, these things won't touch us. क्या है? He gave us this life, He gave these things. So if I am becoming old or dying, He only will give me other one, the better one. I deserve the better one. These things, good riddance of bad rubbish, He will make me forget. अच्छी बात है. But पक्का वो देंगे. मेरे को किस बात की डरनी? Isn't it? Even if the hardships, dukkhas come, the bhakta is able to understand. Bhagavan is making me tough. Bhagavan is making me stronger. Bhagavan is making me be attentive. More reliant on Him rather than any of the outer things being situations. Bhagavan is telling me to become stronger with the upadhis and stronger in detaching from the upadhis, because anything happens is upadhis only. So a bhakta will be understanding it. Therefore, he is not afraid of anything. मजा है वो वाला जिंदगी में. Very good status it is. The opposite of it is all time cynical, fearful, notional, tensed up, so sensitive for the things, quickly reacting and frustration and angers. ये कोई भी भक्त का लक्षण नहीं. भक्त का लक्षण भगवान के ऊपर भक्ति, भरोसा. He knows, I am his devotee. I am doing my due upasana, puja. So he is there very much taking care of every jiva, even though they are not aware of him. When I am aware of his presence, and in this rupa or nama, with this paddhati, as sanctioned and advised by Shastra and Guru, when I am doing his upasana, he will take care of me. By the way, you have to ask, when we are doing the upasanas, are we doing it or not, first of all? If we are doing, how much faith is there in those upasanas that the Lord is there, He is the one who is given these upasanas and is receiving them, and He is reciprocating our blessing. ये faith है कि नहीं देख लेना. वो है ऐसा नहीं महसूस करना, हर मोमेंट वो होना है. Whenever I sit for that 1 hour puja, half an hour, 20 minutes, वो भावना सबसे important. Otherwise, it just becomes mechanical. So now also for our future, fearlessness in facing the world in whatever the way it comes, for our fearlessness in taking up the tougher undertakings for sadhana, we have to do that upasanas to the Paramatma. Then he gives that bhayarahitya, isn't it? Why? Because again, like in the earlier two ones, if the money is not there, security is not there, our attention is always to seek it. If we don't have the people, then we feel loneliness, another emptiness it is. In the same way, here also, any sort of fears that are creeping in us, we can't be truly, genuinely spiritual. Therefore, let that fearlessness come in us as the grace of God invoked through our upasana to Him. Daily, our some quota of that upasanas have to be there. Even it is 20, 30 minutes. Definitely. It goes a long way to help us. ऑल दी स्पिरिचुअल साधना ना करते रहे तो बहुत मेहनत मदद करते हैं. देन ओनली वी इवॉल्व. देन द फोर्थ वन इज व्हाट? इफ वी हैव very convinced goal in our life, and that goal is the ultimate truth, that means what? We have served the gurus, we have attended sufficient satsangas on the Sat Shastra. If we are very certain about the ultimate goal, Purushartha, Moksha as our goal, single pointedly. And there is no greater fortune blessings than this. Because we are absolutely in a perfect, correct goal and path. All else are seeming goals, not real goals. Imaginary goals, kalpita lakshyas, they are all. As we saw in Mandukya Upanishad, the 35 kalpanas are given to us, other than the paramarthika tattva. But if in us that paramarthika tattva prapti, the Brahma prapti, the Atma prapti, इच्छा वांछा मुमुक्षुता that sadhana करे उसको पाए, if these thoughts are there stronger and stronger, that means we have really done Guru Upasana Seva, and in reciprocation, Guru has given us this Upadesh, this Jnana. Beta, nowhere is there in Moksha. Moksha is only Ajnana Hridaya Granthir Nasa Eva Moksha iti Smrutaha. बेटा तुम्हारे हृदय का जो अज्ञान ग्रंथि है, जहाँ से तुम अपने आप को considering as jiva, living through upadhi, removal of that ajnana granthi, and there itself, by realizing your essential self, that you are mukta from all bandhana and dukkha, Guru teaches it. And if it is in our heart, means we have really done Guru Seva and Guru Shushrusha, means Shravanam. So, therefore, this being the ultimate goal, to get convinced about it, relentlessly what we have to do is these two only. Guru Seva, then from the Guru, the Tattva Shravana. Tattva Shravana. Till it becomes convincingly our goal, our only goal, our single pointed goal. If that's not there, we don't pursue. We don't pursue. We pursue something else. When in our mind something else is there, nobody can help us. Even they help us, we can't receive that help. फाइनली घूम फिरा के वी हैव टू यहीं आना पड़ेगा कि उपनिषद वेद्य ब्रह्मात्मा के बोध एवं मोक्ष हेतु and I want moksha, nothing lesser than that, and this is the way. And then such person, every day's every activity, he looks from that standpoint only. Anything conducive, anything related to that, he involves in them with all his efforts, willingness, sacrifices. Obviously, anything which is contradictory to this goal, he has got all the guts in the heart to say no to them, to give them up. We do what we are not to do, we don't do what we are supposed to do because we are not fully convinced that the truth is the goal. But that's because sufficient Shravana from the Guru, and for that sufficient Upasana to the Guru. Upasana is Shraddha. When we go to him, he will guide us for the best. ये वाला श्रद्धा के साथ staying with the Guru, asking him, listening to him, these are all called upasanas. When they are done for a long time, then this comes the conviction about the ultimate alone is goal. When that is very strong, then no outer wisdom is required, or even it is given, we rightly take regarding what to avoid, what to do, so that we reach towards the goal. ये वाला पांचवा विषय है. We have to check in ourselves continuously and we have to be towards that. Okay, then one or two more things what we can talk are, we don't have infinite resources, isn't it? Little bit only. Mental हो या intellectual हो, resources, abilities कितने हैं हमारे पास? Even the time factor. अब क्या है ना, we have to become serious about our sadhana in which these जो भी थोड़े थोड़े हैं, let us not squander them for any other thing. इतना तो मेच्योरिटी बनता है रहना. Like we have very less amount of money, we don't use it for any other outer things. पहले survival, खाना है, जीना है पहले, तो we use that money for living or surviving, because basically that is the thing. We don't just waste it in some other unwanted luxuries or comforts or भोगन wherein जीने का भोजन ही नहीं है. In the same way, a spiritual seeker's drushti should be like this. Ki whatever minimum I have, whether it is energy, whether it is time, whether it is sattva guna, whether it is capacities of mana and buddhi, jitne bhi ho, how much they are, that is not important. Are we using them for the Paramatma Tattva Prapti? That is important. That example of that squirrel can be a good one in this case. Na? Its abilities, capacities are very small. But then, those small capacities, it is used for Rama Kaju, for the Rama's Karya. That is enough. Rama recognized and blessed it. Isn't it? Good examples they are all. In the same way, we have to become slowly. क्या slowly? टाइम ही नहीं है, जल्दी से जल्दी में छोड़ कि our whatever time resources that are there, थोड़ा ही है अभी हम, स्पेशली व्हेन वी आर अगेन इल, उस समय तो ज़्यादा टाइम रेस्ट लेने में उसमें जाता है, बचता थोड़ा ही है. Some other time some responsibilities come which you can't avoid. How they are all, you should take them as sadhana, no doubt, but actually that is not sadhana. Where consciously you are putting efforts to know the truth, that alone to be labeled as sadhana. कुछ भी करो साधना मत मानो. एक समय में होता है, but later on, like there are some people, I used to stay in different places ना, they do anything what they want and they say guru seva. ये से को ये बेवकूफ़ी है, ये मेच्योरिटी नहीं है. What guru told you to do that alone. That alone is called guru seva. And anything you do and you tell that Guru Maharaj की मैं सेवा कर रहा हूँ. You know, this beokufi with arrogance, I have seen very clearly in many places. In the same way, only when our drushti is on Paramatma Prapti directly, that is called as sadhana. Do whatever our minds, whims, fancies say and label it as sadhana is self-cheating only. साधना ही साधना होएगा ना. अब कुछ भी करो कैसे साधना होता है. Like in every other case, cooking alone is cooking. When you do something else, how do you call it as cooking? You can cook stories. That is different. कहानियाँ पकाओ. When you are driving alone is driving, na? There can be driving people crazy also driving. But that's only humor. Driving is driving only. How can something else you do and call it as driving? Same way, our drushti is on Atma Prapti. For that, we are doing our best efforts for Antarmukha. That alone is sadhana. Do anything and don't call it as sadhana. Okay, therefore, the sixth point is whatever time we have a little bit, उनको ना दसों चीजों में करने में मत लगाओ और मत कहो कि उसको साधना है. अंतर्मुखता ओनली साधना. आत्मा अन्वेषण alone is sadhana. उपनिषद मंत्र विचारण alone is sadhana. वो नहीं कर पाए तो nearest one is दैवोपासना. Anything other than this, only our mind's imagination, including the loka seva and all. Which loka you do seva, which is never there, isn't it? It's all again cheating ourselves. Till we have not found Paramatma as a goal, till that time only all this natak. Once we understand, then we have to only go for it. Otherwise, we are only creating obstacles or delaying. So the idea is what? Whatever little resources we have, how much ever they are, उनको और किसी में वेस्ट नहीं करना. सिर्फ साधना के लिए, अंतर्मुखता के लिए. वो तो फिर अगेन दैट मेच्योरिटी भी बनता है. लेटर ऑन even God will not take the blame. Even you complain to him about anybody कि इनके उनके वजह से नहीं हुआ मेरा साधना, he will say you are not convinced, you are not committed, and you are blaming others. You are blaming the situations, etc. You just be serious, sincere at least now. ऐसा भगवान कहकर फिर से चांस देंगे उनको. तो why give that trouble to Lord? Right now only, maximum whatever abilities we have, use them only for Bhagavad Prapti. In this effort, then other cares that have to be taken at the Upadhi level and all which we discuss every day, they also become part and parcel. So in this way, these 7 thoughts today, keep it in the mind. From the outer to the inner, we just thought over it. All in all, human life is lived fully well, outer and inner. When we are absolutely conscious, when we take charge, अपने हाथ में लेकर कॉन्शियसली ढंग से जीना ही मनुष्य जीवन कहलाता है. एंड दैट व्हेन इट इज फॉर परमात्मा प्राप्ति, देन इट इज द साधना. व्हेन वी गेट इट, इट इज द सिद्धि. एंड फॉर इंस्पायरिंग अस इन इट, for informing about these things to us, to give us conviction, is the job of Shastra and Sadguru if we go there and listen to them continuously, regularly. Correct. And let us all feel grateful to our Guru's God. Every day He is giving us this opportunity. Let us also feel inspired and happy that yes, we have come to the level of at least regularly listening to the Shastra. Is a good level, not the ultimate. Ultimate to we know all 24 hours only with the Jignasa. We are doing the internal tapasya of searching out for the inner self. That is the ultimate. Tivra, given up everything outer. Everything, including even sustaining things like bhojana ityadi also, only once a day, that too 5-10 minutes. बस जीवन के लिए डाल दिया थोड़ा, immediately gone back to the deep meditation. That level we have to reach. That's ultimate. For that, the first one is Nirantara Shastra Shravanam. It is giving us information, it is making the information as knowledge. Slowly, the conviction is coming, the next level of sense of urgency or commitment, they will come. पक्का होंगे वो. अगर हम लगे रहते हैं तो, छोड़ दिया तो then what can the Guru do? सत्संग छोड़ दिया, शास्त्र अध्ययन, it is so simple that we have gone away from the hands of the Guru. It's like the stone ran away from the hands of the sculpture. Then he cannot mold it now to make it a murti of Bhagavan or anything. उस stone को क्या करना है? Be available to the sculpture to make it an idol. You and I are the idols. Our personality is the stone. For it to make into an ideal of spiritual sadhaka, we have to surrender to the Guru and God through daily Shastra Shravana. Any other place, where are we reminded of the truth? Isn't it? Where are we inspired about it? Where are we informed about it? In any other place other than Shastra Shravanam. खुद ही देखो. Every other place, Upadhis alone are real, world is real, pursue the world. This delusion only strengthened. People are real, things are real, I need them, they are important for me, I am important to them. ये सारा मोह है, ये सब स्वप्न के समान. उसी को बढ़ाने वाले हैं बाकी सारे एक्टिविटी. ओनली तत्व उपनिषद शास्त्र श्रवणम regularly is the one. Good, we have come up to that level, but it is only beginning. Om 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 Sahanavavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu Ma Vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. ओम नमो ब्रह्मादिभ्यो ब्रह्म विद्या संप्रदाय कर्तृभ्यो वंश ऋषिभ्यो महद्भ्यो नमो गुरुभ्यः. ओम येरिमे गुरुभिः पूर्वं पदवाक्य प्रमाणतः व्याख्याताः सर्ववेदान्ताः तान् नित्यं प्रणतोऽस्म्यहं शङ्करं शङ्कराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः निधये सर्वविद्यानां विषजे भवरोगिणां गुरवे सर्वलोकानां दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानामालयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादशङ्करं लोकशङ्करं गुरुपुङ्गवपुङ्गवकेतनते समतामयतां न हि कोऽपि सुधीः शरणागतवत्सलतत्त्वनिधे भवशङ्करदेशिकमे शरणं ब्रह्मानन्दं परमसुखदं केवलं ज्ञानमूर्तिं द्वन्द्वातीतं गगनसदृशं तत्त्वमस्यादिलक्ष्यम् एकं नित्यं विमलमचलं सर्वधी साक्षिभूतं भावातीतं त्रिगुणरहितं सद्गुरुं तन्नमामि परब्रह्मणे श्रुतिमात्रे समस्तब्रह्मविद्याचार्येभ्यो ऋषिभ्यो मुनिभ्यो गुरुभ्यो देवताभ्यो नमः। श्वेताश्वतर उपनिषदः आचार्येभ्यो नमः। अस्मद्गुरुभ्यो नमः। सङ्कल्पः तेषां कृपया उपनिषदुक्तब्रह्मात्मैक्यबोधेन अस्मिन् क्षणे एव मोक्षसिद्ध्यर्थं सनातनधर्मस्य वैदिकहैन्दव संस्कृतेः साम्प्रदायानां शास्त्राणां मोक्षमार्गाणां गुरुशिष्यभक्तभगवत् परम्परादीनां ज्ञानभक्तियोगादिमार्गाणां पुनरुत्थानजागरण समस्तविश्वव्याप्तिद्वारा विश्वाध्यात्मिक प्रगति एकता शांति पुरोभिवृद्ध्यर्थम् अस्मिन् धर्म संस्थापने कंकणबद्ध अस्माकं सह सर्वेषां पूर्णायुरारोग्यादि प्राप्ति द्वारा शक्ति साधना संपदा प्राप्ति द्वारा बाह्याभ्यंतर शत्रु विघ्न निर्मूलन द्वारा धर्म संस्थापन कार्ये निरंतर दिग्विजयार्थम अनेक शास्त्राणाम् अध्ययन साधना प्रयत्न मध्ये श्री कृष्णयजुर्वेदीय श्वेताश्वतरोपनिषदः श्री आद्यशंकर भाष्य समेत अध्ययन साधना प्रयत्नं कैवल्यार्थं सनातनधर्मार्थं भारतवर्षार्थं विश्व कल्याणार्थं वयं सर्वे करिष्यामहे। ॐ नित्यानन्दं निराधारं निखिलाधारमव्ययं निगमाद्यगतं नित्यं नीलकण्ठं नमाम्यहम्। ॐ अथ प्रथमोऽध्यायः शान्तिमन्त्रः। ॐ सहनाववतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यङ्करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहैः। ॐ शान्तिः शान्तिः शान्तिः। ॐ अथ सम्बन्धभाष्यं। Friends, in that Sambandha Bhashyam, we are into the last topic. Good amount of days we have spent. Last topic is even the Brahmanubhava Jivan Muktas are also an authority. Their Mukta Anubhava Sthiti also is an authority to conclusively finally say that Nirguna Nirvishesha Brahman alone is ultimate. Savishesha Paramatma in any of the form, in the form of this Srushti Sthiti Laya Karaka as an Ishvara, or again his expressions as Sakala Devata Gana ityadi, Upasana ke liye they may help us, but they can't be the ultimate goals in any way. This is what is being discussed last 2-3 months in all those Sambandha Bhashya topics. So finally, even the Anubhuti of the Jair Muktas shows that Nirvishesha Brahman alone is ultimate. Again, to say that Shruti Mata alone is sought for the help, that she quoted in the Shrutis also, then in the Smriti also. This was the topic. We are doing Shruti and Smriti quotations about the Anubhuti of the Jivan Mukta Purushas, in which Nirvishesha Brahman alone is said to be the ultimate. After that is done, which we have done yesterday, ek shloka aur hai, the final conclusion of the entire Sambandha Bhashya in one big sentence. And that conclusion concludes with the reason, therefore necessity for study of the Upanishad. This is what we have to see. Correct? Now, yesterday's mantra was, we have seen about Nidagha's quotation. निदाग के बारे में जो बताया है पुराण में, है ना, विष्णु पुराण कोट्स द रुभु निदाग संवाद. And that Rubhu Gita we have seen exhaustively chanted, we have not seen meaning. So here in that it is said, Nidagopi upadeshena tena dvaita varo abhavatu sarvabhutani asheshena dadarsha satadatmanaha. So Nidagha api. Api means like so many, even Nidagji also. Upadeshena tena. By that Upanishad, Desha, that Guru Darubuji, Advaita Para Bhavatu. He has experienced the Advaita Paramatma. Then he asked for or tried to know something other than it, beyond it, there was nothing. Therefore, Sarva Bhutani. What is the sign of that Advaita Paranubhuti? Sarva Bhutani Asheshena Dadarshasaha Tadatmanaha. The self of all as his own self as the self of all. Yomam Pashyat Sarvatra Sarvancha Pashyat. Or Yasmin Sarvani Bhutani Atmaiva Bhut. All Upanishads, Gita we know na. Same way, Sarva Bhutani Asheshena Dadarsha Sahatadatmanaha. So, all beings are nothing but my own self that he has experienced. And that experience that all beings are my own self is called as Tatha Brahma, Brahmanu. Experiencing oneself beyond the Upadhi is called Atmanubhuti. That one self alone is there in all beings is called as Brahmanubhuti. Therefore, Tatha Brahma. And when that Brahmanubhuti came to him, Tato Muktihi, Mukti Mavapa, Paramam Dvijaha, that supreme Mukti, this Dvija, this Nidagha has achieved. So, in this Nidaga's Anubhuti of the Moksha, what is there? That Ekameva Dvayam Nirvishesha Brahmanubhuti, ultimate. Therefore, Brahman is there. Brahman can be experienced. In the experience of that Brahma Anubhuti, only there is moksha. Anywhere else, there is no moksha. The dukkha aspects may be lesser, sukha aspects may be little more, but moksha will not be there. It is bandhana only. So Vishesha and Dvaita, there is bandhanam. Nirvishesha, Advaita, alone there is moksha. That is what is the quotation of the Purana Vishnu, example of Nidagha. Then last one more mantra is बहुत सुंदर. अत्रात्मव्यतिरेकेण द्वितीयं यो न पश्यति ब्रह्मभूतः स एवेह वेदशास्त्र उदाहृतः. So all the Vedas and Shastras have loudly spoken about that person, that he is the one who has realized the Brahman, who has become one with his Brahma Swarupa. Who is that one? The one who has experienced this. What it is? Atra Atma Vyatirekena Dvitiyam Yaha Na Pashyati. There is no Dvitiya Vastu Vyatireka other than the Atman. There is nothing other than the Atman, the self. Not the Atma is Upadhi again. The inner Sachidananda Atma. उनके अलावा कुछ है ही नहीं. ऐसा जिन्होंने अनुभव किया उन्हीं को ब्रह्म भवतः करके ऑल वेदा शास्त्र हैव सर्टिफाइड. अत्र आत्म व्यतिरेकेण यह न पश्यति द्वितीयं सह एव ब्रह्मभूतः इति वेदशास्त्र उदाहृतः. This is a quotation from one of the Puranas. Therefore, with all this time spent, so many years in studying Upanishads, to what intellectual conviction we have to arrive at it is the Nirguna, Nirvikara, Nirvishesha, Ekamevadvayam, Brahma Anubhuti should be the goal, because in that alone there is moksha. Therefore, Nothing else can be the goal, because in the achievement of that, there is no moksha. Again, moksha means, let us explain it for a minute or two. Moksha means freedom from all limitations, all conditionings, okay, and all efforts. Freedom from, because bondage is to live in limitations, conditions, and efforts. You know, like when you are limited by the upadhis, when we are conditioned by the thought that when I get the things of the world, then only I'll be happy. Then I am full of efforts in the life, infinitude, unconditionalness. These are the spiritual riddles, if we can sort out in our understanding. You know, things which themselves are bound. How can they give us liberation? Objects, beings who themselves are bound, limited, conditioned, ephemeral, deathful, changeful. How can they give me the changeless, deathless, infinite, unconditional अनुभूति? देखो ये sort out करे ना, then from our heart that notion and the strong trishnas, the desire to possess the things or befriend the beings, etc., this delusion goes away, which is very, very essential. Then how to get moksha from all these limitations, conditionings, efforts? Why, that is your own swarupa. Your own inner Brahma is already that. You are identified with the upadhi and running outside. So stop running outside, de-identify with the upadhi, then identify you are with Brahma Swarupa. That's all. Whole Vedanta. जब 1,00,000 श्लोक में बोले, एक श्लोक में बोले ईशावास्यमिदगम सर्वम, the essence of all of that is this much. But why still it is happening? Because you have lot of moha, lot of vasana, lot of ajnanas. To remove the ajnana by the regular listening of jnana, doing manana chintan of the jnana. Remove all the vasanas by the karma yoga, bhakti yoga, ashtanga yoga. Remove all the desires with the maturity that the temporary cannot give the permanent. वो वाले सारे obstacles को निकाल के, then within yourself alone is the mukta sthiti is there. You are already mukta. Vimuktascha vimuchyate. We are never bound. Our essential self is eternal, ever liberated. अब go and sit in it. So, अत्र आत्मव्यतिरेकेण द्वितीयं यः न पश्यति सः एव इह ब्रह्मभूतः इति वेदशास्त्र उदाहरणः. This is our goal. There is nothing other than the self, the real self in me. So first recognize the Atman, then recognize the Brahman, then recognize that Brahma Atma is one, and that is my experience. याद रखो, हमने बात 2 हफ्ते पहले कही थी, 4 महीने पहले भी एक बार था, 100 साल के बाद, 100 नहीं, 100 दिन के बाद 1 साल पहले भी हुआ था. Same discussion. What was it? Spirituality is not intellection only. Every aspect of spirituality is an anubhuti, therefore should be an anubhuti. Everything. Let us say, example, Viveka. Viveka is not intellectual understanding. कि आत्मा अनात्मा का विवेक करो, या ब्रह्म ही सत्य है, उनके अलावा सब मिथ्या है. This is intellectual knowledge we have. No, anubhuti. In us feeling that Brahman alone is real, everything is unreal. When we got it, then we have got viveka, anubhuti. If we got it, if we get it, the consequence of it is what? Definitely we get vairagya. So the getting of vairagya is the sign that we got the anubhava of the viveka effortlessly. Then how do you know that anubhava of the vairagya came? Because the senses and mind are controlled. Shamadama. Because when vairagya is there, why will you go to the world through the senses and mind? You will not go. Therefore, the Shamadama effortlessness in them is the sign of anubhuti of vairagya, not intellectual understanding. I understood everything about intellect, vairagya, but my mind and senses are fully in the world only. So I have not had the anubhuti of the vairagya. So too the uparati is the sign of the shamadama. Titiksha, Shraddha, Samadhanam are the sign of uparati. Mumukshuta is the sign of all this. Then going to the Guru and Shravana is the sign that we have understood or experiencing mumukshuta. The mananam is the sign where we have experienced the Shravanam. Dhyanam is the sign which says that we have done sufficient mananam. Then Brahmanubhuti is the one which is the only one which is a proof for that we have done the nididhyasanam. अनुभूति की बात हो रही है. Let us not be fool ourselves by satisfying at the intellectual understanding level. आप पहले तो उसके लिए लड़ रहे हैं, झगड़ रहे हैं एवरी डे, कुछ भी समझ में नहीं आता. आफ्टर एवरीथिंग इज हर्ड, 1 hour सॉलिड स्पेंट, है ना. So everything is anubhava, not mere intellection. Now comes the next portion, the last portion. What is that? Upanishad Arambha Prayojana Upasamhara. Upasamhara is done to the Sambandha Bhashya by indicating us towards the Prayojana of the Upanishad Adhyayana. Why we should study this Shwethashwathara Upanishad and other Upanishads. Lamba hai, let us see step by step. कि इति मीन्स ओवर. हमको जो कहना था 50-54 पेजेस में हमने कह दी. शंकर भगवान संबंध भाष्य. इति एवं, इन दिस वे व्हाट इज डन? श्रुति स्मृति युक्ति तः अनुभवतः च. So in that smriti only you can add the Purana also. Shruti means Upanishads. Smriti is the Gita and Manusmriti and all. Puranas are Linga Purana, Vishnu Purana, Vishnu Dharmottara Purana. How many were referred? So through Shruti, through Smriti, through Yuktitaha, and last one was the Anubhava of the Brahmajnanis. Anubhavataha cha. Through all these means or medium, by quoting all of them, by telling you about all these things, what is the conclusion around it to arrive at is Anubhavatascha Prapanchasya Badhitatvat. The whole Prapancha, Sthula, Sukshma, Karana, Veshti, Samashti, all of that is Shastra Jnana ke drushti se intellectually proved that it is not real. Prapanchasya Badhitatvat. Not real, not required. प्रपंचस्य बाधितत्वात् अत्यंत विलक्षणानां असदृश रूपाणां मधुर तिक्त श्वेत पीतादीनां अपि परस्पर अध्यास दर्शनात्. ओके, फर्स्ट श्रुति स्मृति पुराण, देन युक्ति एज वेल एज अनुभूति से प्रपंच बाधित. The world is not at all there. What is there is Brahman. And yet, the prapancha is being seen by us, experienced by us, which we have to, through sadhana, reject and experience Brahman. That guidance is going to be given in the Upanishad. But still, once through all of them also, Shruti, Smriti, Purana, Itihasa, Yukti, Anubhava, when the prapancha is badhita, world is proved to be unreal, yet why the world is seen, why it is experienced. World is seen and experienced because of the strongest presence of one thing. That one thing which is strongly present is called Adhyasa, about which Bhagavan Adi Shankara, before the beginning of commentary to Brahma Sutra, he writes the Adhyasa Bhashyam. युष्मद अस्मत् प्रत्यय गोचरयो हो विषण विषय विषणीय हो अन्योन्य अध्यास करके लंबा चौड़ा होगा हो. We will study definitely in our lifetime. We get a chance to study minimum अध्यास भाष्यम एंड चतुसूत्री. कोशिश करेंगे. बहुत गंभीर है वो, बट होगा. अब यहाँ तक आए तो वहां वो भी होगा. So here, before telling concludingly that there is adhyasa that can go away only through Upanishad Adhyanam, he is giving the examples. What are the examples? Ki Atyanta Madhura Tikta. There in the world, there is a superimposition of the sweetness as well as the pungency. अन्योन्य अध्यास हो जाता है. Isn't it means what? In the sweet, if you add too much of mirchi, then that also appears to be mircha. So to the मिर्ची में इतना ज़्यादा चीनी डालो तो मिर्ची महसूस नहीं होता. You will eat, make it sweet. That's called paraspara adhyasa हो गया. Another example, श्वेत पीतादीनाम अपि. So the white and black and yellow, they appear to be superimposing on each one. है क्या ना, श्वेत में पीत डालो या पीत में श्वेत डालो तो वो मिलकर और कुछ बाहर निकलता है, अदर कलर. सो ही इज गिविंग दीज एग्जांपल्स एज द प्रूफ दैट द अध्यास होता है, हुआ है. इन द सेम वे उससे पहले क्या कहा? प्रपंच से बाधितत्वात् अत्यंत विलक्षणानाम, those two are totally of different lakshanas. Then asadrusha rupanam, there is no sadrushya, similarity at all between them. Two things. The example madhura and tikta, another example is shweta pitadi नाम पे क्या होता है? परस्पर अध्यास दर्शनात्. As we see in the world, the paraspara mutual superimposition of one's qualities on other, adhyasa darshanat, this is the example over. In the same way, amurte api akash, another example, third example, amurte api akashe. The akasha is not at all a murti, not at all a gross form. Yet, in that akasha, tala malinata. Tala means as if it is a dome above. Then malinata, that it is in blue color or grey color or it is in light reddish color. Iti tala malinatadi adhyasa darshanat. We see that adhyasa also. The colors of the blueness or the redness, etc., can be there only on a solid object. So too, the surfacial feeling can be there, like a solid object like the roof. है ना, घर में हो तो घर का रूफ होता है, कार में बैठो तो कार का ऊपर रूफ है, एरोप्लेन में हो तो ऊपर का रूफ है, तला. But the akasha is such a subtle thing without form that it is not a tala and it has no color of blueness or any other. And yet on that this color का भी roofness का भी अध्यास होता है कि नहीं? Therefore श्वेत पीता अध्यास, then मधुर तिक्त अध्यास, then the arupa akash के ऊपर तला मलिनता अध्यास. As you see them in the same way, atman atmanoho, of the atman, the brahman, the anatma, the entire upadhis, panchakosha at individual level, and total level mein the entire brahmanda. Both of them are anatma, and the here brahman real inside is the atman. Atman atmanoho atyanta vilakshanayoho. Totally they are absolutely of the vilakshana with each other. Then amurta murtayoho. One is amurta, the brahman, and the anatma is the murta. Totally of the vilakshana. Api unka bhi tatha, in the same way sambhavat, which is their experience by us, it is possible. What? The adhyas. In the so many cases that is as the abhyasa is seen by us, in the same way the two vilakshana vastus, one is the amurta brahmanatman, second is the murta anatma, in दोनों के बीच में भी अध्यास हुआ है. We are experiencing that adhyasa now, even though intellectually it is proved through the Shruti, the Smriti, the Purana, the Itihasa, the Yukti, then the Mahatmaon ka Anubhuti se. Even then, personally within ourselves, like these four examples given, three example, four example, you have the Anubhuti of the Adhyasa of the Atyanta Vilakshana Atma and Anatma, whereas an Atma is the Murta and an Atma is the Murta. तो आत्मात्मनोः अत्यंत विलक्षणयोः मूर्ता मूर्तयोरपि तथा संभवात्. And how do you say, sir, we have that some adhyasa happened in us and we are experiencing it? अरे बाबा तुम लोग तो हर दिन वही बात करते हो ना. What are the examples given here? स्थूलोहम, I am fat nowadays. कहते हैं कि नहीं आजकल थोड़ा मोटा हो रहा हूं मैं. और कृशो हम, पता नहीं बीमारी हो गई, 15 दिन हॉस्पिटल में रह के आया, तो मैं क्या है ना 40-30 किलो मेरे कम हो गए। अच्छा अब कितना किलो है? 125। मतलब कितना था उससे पहले? तो कृशो हम, when I say I am fat, when I say I am thin, अध्यास हो गए कि नहीं? I is a self which is amurta. How can it be fat or thin? Then fat or thin is the sharira, which is anatma. But are we not doing the adhyasa of each one of them and saying that I am fat? It is an adhyasa only. I am thin also is an adhyasa. Same way I am healthy or I am unhealthy. I am black or white, or I am a man or woman, or I am a child or old or middle age. ये सारा क्या है ना, I am तो body है ही नहीं है, वो अमूर्त, and body is got the murti, and that murti body has all these lakshanas of gender or color or weight or size or age, but we are continuously doing the adhyasa only. Proof this is in this way, the adhyasa ki sthuloham krushoham iti देहात्मनोह अध्यास अनुभवात, तो देह को आत्मा के रूप में अनुभव हम कर ही रहे, बिकॉज ऑफ द अध्यास. Then so to the indriyas. You know, I have seen that person coming, going. The eyes have seen. I, the inner self, do not see. It is only Shuddha Chaitanya. उसमें कोई इंद्रिय है नहीं, जरूरत भी नहीं है उसका. So to all the other indriyas, even the mana, even the buddhi, even the ahankara. So देह का एग्जाम्पल दिया ना, स्थूलोहम कृशोहम इज एन एक्सप्रेशन ऑफ अध्यासा. अभी अहंकार का एग्जाम्पल दे रहे कि हाउ द अहंकारा इज सुपर इम्पोज्ड ऑन द अहम द आत्मन. Which quotation is given to give the example of the aham and atma aham superimposition? Adhyasa is this famous quotation of Katha Upanishad and Gita. What is it? Hanta chen manyate hantum, hatas chen manyate hatam, ubhau tau na vijanitaha, nayam hanti na hanyate. This is called Katha Upanishad, same Gita also. Hmm. Hmm. हंता चेत मन्यते हंतुम मीन्स हनन क्रियायाः कर्ता अहमस्मि. तो द हनन मतलब किलिंग समवन इज ए क्रिया डन, देन देयरफॉर आई एम द किलर. हतः चेत, or I am the one who is killed by others, therefore I am the one on whom the action of killing has happened. And who is the one killer? Aham only, ego. Of course, through the hand or the sword or the rifle or the bullet or pushing into the water. अब कितने तरह से कत्ल कर सकते हैं. और हतः, that I am killed, again killed by others. Anybody can shoot us or push us into the well, कुछ भी है कि नहीं. सो हनन क्रिया किसने किया? अहंकार ने. हनन क्रिया किसके ऊपर हुआ? अहंकार पे. व्हाट आर द प्योर सेल्फ? वो तो हनन क्रिया का करता नहीं है. और अन्य क्रिया मीन्स द वन ऑन whom the action falls. The self is not that also. But both of them, killing and getting killed, which are the jobs of the ego, are they not superimposed on the pure self, which can never be the killer and killed? Because किसको मारेगा? उसके अलावा कुछ है ही नहीं वो. और उसको कौन मारेगा? वो तो अजन्मा है, अमृत्यु है, अमर है. बट देन सुपर इम्पोजिशन हो गया कि नहीं? मैं मारा हूं, मेरे को मार रहे. उभौ तो न विजानी था भाई ना. अयम हंति, द सेल्फ इज नॉट द कर्ता ऑफ द हनन क्रिया, na anyate is not the one on whom the hanana kriya, the action of killing falls. But then this is superimposition. So deha example, atma example is given, ahankar example is given, that all these upadhis are superimposed on the self. Therefore upadhi karma and upadhi dharma are taken as that of the self. This is called the anyonya strong adhyasa. Two more examples are given. Ityadi Shruti Darshanathu. These are all the Shruti mantra, Katha Upanishad. So to Gita, may same. Ye evam vetti hantaram yaschainam manyate hatam. The one who thinks that the Atman is the killer, The one who thinks the Atman is on whom the action of killing is falling. Ubhav tau na vijanita. Both of them do not know. Again, there also same line. Nayam hanti. The Atman never become the killer. Nahanyate is never be killed. Why this killer killing example is taken both in Katha and both in Gita? Because the prasanga was that, the topic. Because Arjuna is worried about killing Bhishmadi or getting killed by them. Because the prasanga. So too, in Katha Upanishad, the prasanga is same. What is the prasanga? First of all, the father has sent him to Mrityu only. Second, the prashna of the Nachiketa is that only. Ki after the death, the being is there or not. The first question is. Third question when he asked is, Yayam prete manushya vichikitsa asti teke nayam asti iti chaike. Etad vidyam anushishtastvayaham. Because of the prasanga vashat, the hanana karma, hanya karma is talked. What it means is what? Paramatma is neither the karta nor the bhokta. So here hanana karma is karta and hanana kriya is bhokta. Because that's the prasanga. Anyway, any other karma, the ज्ञानेन्द्रियों का कर्मेंद्रियों का कोई भी कर्म में कर्म फल में परमात्मा का कोई संबंध नहीं है, वो उपाधियों में होता है. But we take it on ourselves. That shows we are 100% in the adhyasa, the superimposition. Therefore, ityadi shruti darshanat ye evam veti hantaram. This is one quote of Gita. So to prakritehe kriyamanani. Third chapter. प्रकृते क्रियमाणानि गुणैः कर्माणि सर्वशः सर्वशः प्रकृतेः गुणैः कर्माणि क्रियमाणानि. बट अहंकार विमूढ़ आत्मा कर्ताहम इति मन्यते. Okay, this is the second quotation is given. In this way, iti smruti darshanat cha. Therefore, in this way, smruti में भी बताने के कारण कि अध्यासस्य ग्रहणाय ग्रहणाच अध्यासस्य sorry, not grahana. Very sorry. We are already grahana. Adhyasasya prahanaya atma ekatva vidya pratipattaye. Adhyasasya prahana. Prahana means hana means removal. Prahana means complete removal. For the removal of the superimposition completely and also atma ekatva vidya pratipattaye. For giving us atma ekatva jnana. When we abide in that jnana, anubhuti also comes to us. For the sake of these two things, Upanishad arabhyate, arambhate or arabhyate, the Upanishad study begins. Therefore, why the Upanishad study? To remove the adhyasa and to experience the Brahmatmaikya Bodha. And why? Because at present we are in the adhyasa. And that adhyasa is the karana because of which we are suffering for all that which is happening on the upadhis. Ultimately, dekha jaye, there are no upadhis at all. They are also projected. What is there is only nirvishesha Brahman. So therefore, by this, for removal of adhyasa and atmaikatva bodha, the Upanishad is to be studied because that is the only way for moksha, is the conclusion. Thank you very much. Congratulations to you all. We have spent, how many days? 165 days to study Adhyasa Bhashya. ज़्यादा ही टाइम हो गया. Exactly 5.5 महीने. 150 और 15. But it was fruitful. I am so fully satisfied कि एक एक लाइन को पढ़कर we tried our best to understand at our level. For that only we are seated here. We are not here to make people happy by concluding or finishing the text quickly. No. We are here doing Swadhyaya, and as Tulsidaji says, Swanta Sukhaya Tulasi Raghunatha Gatha. Anta Sukh ke liye. For our means good study ho gaya. Anytime we can refer. It's already available luckily in the recording. तो जिनको चाहिए सुन सकते. And this is our औकात, to be honest. That quickly फटाफट सबको समझाए अगर आगे भागो, ऐसा कैपेसिटी अभी नहीं है. जब होगा तब होगा. और तृप्ति तब है जब पूरा. वही भगवान gave that nature. That's why whether it is a small text of 20 mantras or a yoga vasisht of 32,000 shlokas, every shloka we are studying. पता नहीं किस कारण से भगवान हमसे करा रहे. Entire Bhagavatam, entire Ramayana, entire Adhyatma Ramayana, entire, the other texts, stotras, even Upanishad, our mantra, सब भाष्य भगवान करा रहे. इतना ट्रीटमेंट के बाद शायद हम सुधर सकते होंगे उसलिए. And definitely sudhrenge, not because of our effort, but His grace. Thank you. With this, we are announcing that the conclusion of Sambandha Bhashya from the first mantra tomorrow we study. Hari Om Brahmavadino Vadante Kim Karanam Brahma Kudasmajatha Jivama Kachas Sampradishta Adhishtita Kena Sukhetaresho Vartamahe Brahma Vidho Vyavastam. So with 2 lines of Sambandha Bhashya, we chant this mantra and see the meaning, and we study it with the Bhashyam. Thus, 6 chapters are there in it, around 180 or 200, whatever number of slokas, even less than that. Let us try to empower ourselves with the authentic knowledge again regarding the Brahman, the goal and the means. Thank you. Om 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 Om. Om 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 Om. Om 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 Om. Om Purnamadaha Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Avashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Shri Gurubhyo Paramarshibhyo Parabrahmane Shrutimatre Namaha. Om Tat Sat Brahmarpanamastu. Thank you, friends, for all your cooperation. Credit is yours.